Hello, hello. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. Like a Twitch chatbot tonight. Pretty sure everyone who's on Twitch has at least seen or knows what I'm talking about. But little bots that join your channel and they have lots of little commands and they can respond to things and do all sorts of cool stuff. All right, so the simplest thing that possibly works. I want to connect to the chat server for Twitch, and I want to be able to just see the login information. I want to have some acknowledgement. I have a script that I'm going to run. When I run it, I get some acknowledgement that I connected and everything's successful, right? So we're just going to call this thing our bot file, bot.rb. First thing we're going to want is the Ruby socket library. We're going to want to open a socket. And actually, already we've hit our first barrier here, which is I can't remember the address of the server that I'm going to need to talk to, right? So we're going to go do some Googling. irc.chat.twitch.tv is what we want. So irc.chat.twitch.tv, and the port is 6667. All right, that should open the socket. And all right, so once the socket's open, we just want to run in a loop. Actually, let's make a variable called running. And as long as running is true, I want to sit and I want to get whatever's available on the socket and print it out to the screen. So if I remember correctly, actually, why don't we look up that something about Ruby sockets? Actually, Ruby IO, which is the parent class of socket. I want this. I want to sit and block and read whatever's available from the socket, right? And that will return an array. Just call that S for now. And then I believe I want all right. So that returns an array. For each thing in the array, get the socket, get the next line from it, and print it to the screen. So save this file and then run it. Actually, why don't we, before we do that, why don't we add a couple helpful little print statements just so we know what the hell's going on here, right? So let's just say we're going to prepare to connect, connected, and we'll say exited, right? And actually, we'll never get here because we're setting running to true and going into an infinite loop. So that's fine for right now. All right, connected, not seeing anything from the server. But that's actually because I think we are failing to authenticate, which, forgot about that. We'll actually need to do that. So authenticating with this thing, we actually need to use an OAuth token that I probably don't want to put on the stream. So what I'm going to do is set it in an environment variable. We now have an environment variable for our API token, and we need to send it to the server, right? Let's go see how to do. This is the example of how we actually authenticate with this thing. So the first thing we do is we're going to send these commands pass with our auth token and then the nick, the username we want to use. Obviously mine is going to be open mailbox. We've connected, right? First thing we want to do before we go into our loop and wait for input is we are going to send our information to the socket. What was it pass and then our environment variable. Whoops. Twitch API token. Nick is open mailbox. Make sure that was my Twitch chat token. Sorry, it was chat token is what I made it. Alright, so we're gonna send that. As soon as we do that, hopefully we'll get a little bit more feedback from the server. So let's go see that. There we go. I think that's what we want to see. So what we want to be able to do before we actually like make this into a bot that can automatically read things and react to them is we want to turn it into a chat client. So I want to be able to run this thing, and then when it's sitting there and I can see things, I want to be able to type, and then whatever I type is going to show up in chat, just like I was, you know, connected to a regular chat client. We want a main loop, right? So let's ignore this right now. Let's ignore this. Let's comment this out. Assuming that we don't care about reading things right now. We don't care what's coming into the socket. We want a main loop of our own, and as long as it's active, we want to read from standard input. So command is get string, right? And then let's log it for argument's sake. We want to chop off the new line, and then we want to send it, right? Okay. All right, so we can't have two running main loops, so we're going to stick this one into a background thread. Oops. All right, so we'll spin that off into a background thread. And let's give us a nice way to exit here. Let's say if command is quit, if the command is quit, we're going to set running to false. Let's see if this works. Nice. All right. So let's try to quit first. Nice, perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Now, what we want to do is I want to try to join my own channel, because I'm sitting in this, like, I'm sitting in purgatory right now with this thing, right? It's connected to a server, but it's not in any channels. It doesn't really know what it's doing. So let's figure out how we connect to a server. Join channel name right down here. So let's join open mailbox. Nice. All right, so now that I'm joined, I should theoretically be able to send a message to the channel and have it show up. Let's see here. Where is the syntax? Right. Priv message, channel message. Test 1, 2. Ah, there it is. There it is. You need the colon for the message, right? So hello from the bot. Hello from the bot. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? All right, so this is probably a good time to start refactoring some of this code into something that makes sense instead of just a long-running script, right? So I think what we want here, is a bot. Or let's name this thing Twitch, right? Because the whole thing is a bot, but this is just the piece that actually deals with Twitch, right? So when we initialize this thing, I'm gonna want a socket that I'll initially have null. We're gonna have a method that's run. It's gonna set up our loops. And what else do I want? I want a running variable. That will initially be false, right? I want some reader. I want to treat these as readers. Alright, so when we run our thing here, we're going to set up our background thread. Whoops. So when we call run on our Twitch bot here, it's going to set up the background thread. Take this out down here. And instead, what we'll do is actually the other thing we want to do our setup. So we want to handle all this stuff inside the bot. Our initial setup. When we run it, we're gonna set up the socket in there. We're gonna do all that stuff, right? And we'll put our log message in there. Whoops. Yeah, this message will go up there. Instead of doing all that junk down here, we're going to make a new instance of Twitch. We're going to call bot.run, and then we're going to set up our main loop here. Oh, but we need a way to talk to this thing now since we don't have access to the socket directly. So I'll just make a method in here that will pass the messages to the socket, and additionally log it for us. And this will become bot. And actually we need this, so when we want to quit out, we want a shutdown method or a stop method, right? That's just going to set running to false. And we'll call bot.stop. And just quit, right? Alright, that looks pretty good. Whoops. We definitely broke something. On line 14, we broke something. We have a recursion problem here because I defined this method called putString. We have a putString, right? So why don't we not call this puts? Let's call it send. Let's try this now. Something else is wrong. Local undefined local variable running. And that was on line 49. Aha. That's what we needed. Alright, let's try it. Nice. Alright, so we're connected. Should be able to join our chat. Alright, we should be able to, whoops, open mailbox, hello from the bot, and it worked. Nice. And when we quit, everything works as expected. Let's make our logger a little bit more formal, because I'm wondering if something's going on here. So let's actually use a real logger. Logger equals logger or log the standard out by default, and then down here, and then we'll log every message we get. Where else are we using puts? Whoops. Keep using it there. Right. Alright, we're going to use an actual logger instead of just printing things to the screen. What did I screw up? Undefined variable local method logger. Oh, right. I need to actually make this something that I can reference. Alright. Alright. Hot. Shit. Screwed that up. Right. That looks good. So we need to parse the incoming messages into something that makes sense, right? Because we want anyone in chat to be able to type. We'll make up something like bang hello, right? And we want the bot to respond when people do that. So we need to be able to read the messages that the bot is reading and respond to them. Let's go look at the format of the messages actually. So we see this input, right? Every time we get a message from the chat. Let's just copy this for right now. And we'll stick it up here for a reference. We'll put it right here. So that's what it looks like when we get a message in chat. And we need to be able to parse this so we can pull out the fact. So this is some metadata over here. Priv message is the command that's being sent, which is a message. Open mailbox is the channel that we're getting it from. And then everything beyond the colon is the actual message itself. So basically, we want to be able to pull, since we're only listening to one channel right now, so we just want to pull everything beyond the end of this colon. And we want to know, and actually the first word is the user that sent the command, and the rest of it is the actual actually that's not true, is it? Because that was a message from the channel. We need to know what it looks like when we actually get a message, not just a notification. All right, so this is the format of a message that we're trying to parse, right? So we're interested in everything after this last colon here, and we're trying to figure out how to parse this in a way that makes sense. We don't get confused by colons that are in the message and that kind of stuff. So if the line matches with message, actually can do better than that probably, right? We'll match the first word after. That should give us the username. And then we'll see a colon, and then everything that follows is going to be the actual message. And I actually want that in a variable, right? All right. So what was I saying here? Right. We need to match this, right? So let's say if match line, or if let's say if message. That's wrong. All right. Line dot match. Okay. Message line dot match that, and then if message is present at all, then let's be less confusing here. Let's say if match is present, then message. Message equals match and match to. That should give us the actual content of the message, right? And we'll test that by saying if there is a message, let's say a message, and then the actual message. Let's try that. Now, we want to test to see if message equals, or if message matches hello, and we'll say, yeah, let's just stop there for right now. Let's just do that, right? We will send back hello from hello world from the bot. We don't need parentheses for that. We still want to log it, right? Send hello world from the bot, right? So it should still drop down here and log it. Oh, whoops. We're not logging anything because, right. That's why everything is looking a little weird. So we were trying to read a line from the socket right here, right? So we were doing that, seeing that it was a message and outputting it. But then we were trying to read from the socket again down here at the bottom, which was problematic. That's why things were looking a little strange. We join our chat. And now, if someone would like to type bang hello, I'll be the first one. No, what? It didn't work. It didn't work. Shit. Oh well. All right, hold on. We gotta debug. Why didn't this work? Let's help ourselves a little bit. So, command received for starters. And if we didn't get it, then why not? Why didn't we get it? What was the message? Let's see. Let's try this again. Wait. Okay, so we're getting a bunch of nils here because we're logging everything we see that's not a message. Now if I do, let's try this again. Still not, oh, haha. All right, so here's why this is not working. Right there. Carriage return. We are not regex matching. Okay, I'll copy and paste this. Whoops. Well, that worked. Copy and paste this just to illustrate the point here. We are seeing a carriage return at the end of our message, and we are not looking for it in the regex. Actually, let's just make life easy for right now to make sure this works, and we won't match anything other than hello. Now, so we're sending the message verbatim when what we need to do is send it to the right channel. I did break something. We can't send every message we send is not a is not a priv message. Priv message open mailbox. All right. One more time. Yes! Success! Success. So, we have our first working actual command. You can type hello, the bot responds. As far as I'm concerned, that's absolute success. That was the goal that we set out with here for our stream tonight. And we've accomplished it. And now everything we do from here on out is just icing on the cake. So the next thing we could do right is personalize this. So when someone says bang hello, it will say hello back to you. I think that's probably a good step to take, right? So let's get rid of this useless message. Let's say, all right, so our regex matches everything we need to. It's a match message if the command is hello, anything. Or no, we still want to match anything that's hello, right? But then what's the syntax here? Oh, we also want to get rid of this. Let's go copy our syntax again. What was it? When people say something. Let's get a better example here. someone was saying some stuff up here. Right, here we go. So this is Game Me. This is something you said. Let's paste this in here for reference. We parsed out everything, so we're not capturing, right now we're not capturing who said the thing. We're only capturing what was said. So beginning of the line, we'll have some kind of username, followed by a bang, followed by some other stuff. Eventually get to priv message. We have, this should capture what we need. This should give us the matching still, the capture groups for the matching that we need. And then we need the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will become match 4, the fourth match. And the user should now be the first match. And let's log it by saying user command user and we'll just say hello for right now. All right, so we want that and then we also want to say hello or hello user from, we'll call it mailbot, from mailbot. All right, let's try that. Now, when I say bang, hello, success, my bot is responding to me. I think we're gonna call it a night there. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking everything out. Appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try to stick this all on GitHub so that as we work on this, I can like get some pull requests going and we can build this thing together. That would be awesome. So thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Have a good night.